Houston rapper Christian Ivan Cavazos, also known as Guero10k, entered a guilty plea to 5 murders during a deadly gang-related shooting rampage in the fall of 2019 and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in September 2024. It put an end to a lengthy court battle that started in 2020 when he was arrested on counts of capital murder, aggravated assault, and conspiracy in connection with 3 different shootings that rocked the city. Cavazos, one of Houston's most infamous crash-out figures, is still incarcerated in a Texas state jail with no appeals or sentence reductions reported. He was born in Houston, Texas, and grew up in a rough neighborhood on the city's north side where gang affiliation and street life were prevalent. He was known as Guero10k because he belonged to the 10K gang, which was a subsection of the greater Houston street gang culture and was rumored to have been involved in violent turf wars, drug trafficking, and robberies. His music career took off around 2019 as he released songs boasting about being a member of his gang, committing crimes, and dissing his rivals. Guero10k developed a tiny but devoted fan base by working with other local artists and gang members, such as Rico and Kevin Vadia. However, his gang affiliations coincided with his rise to stardom. Cavazos was heavily involved in the ongoing feuds between the 10K gang and other groups, including those of rappers like Cashout Ace. The crimes that led to his downfall occurred over the course of 4 terrifying months in the fall of 2019, during which he and his associates carried out 3 targeted killings that left 5 people dead. Based on gang retaliation and misidentifications, prosecutors characterized it as a reign of terror in which Cavazos was the main gunman in several of the cases. He was accused of carrying out a deadly drive-by shooting on Cashout Ace music video set in December 2019 that left 2 people dead and several others injured, including Cashout Ace, who suffered a critical injury. He was linked by evidence such as shell casings and GPS data from cell phones. In 2019, Guero was implicated in the double homicide of Ramiro and Rosalba Reyes, an elderly couple who were thought to be the grandparents of Cashout Ace, a rival rapper. After returning from a hospital visit, the couple was shot in front of their home. The gang rivalry between Cashout Ace's squad and Guero's clique is said to have been the driving force behind the crime, which was a case of mistaken identity. When Guero and his associates realized what had happened, they allegedly rejoiced in murdering the victims. 2 more murders promptly followed, marking the height of the violence. One was an attempted drive-by in which a rival gang member was killed. Horrifying eyewitnesses claimed that the victim's skull was missing. Belonging to the same opposing forces, another victim was shot and murdered. 5 people had been killed in these shootings, and Guero was directly involved in at least 3 of them as the shooter. The prosecution continued by claiming that Guero10k own streams and posts created a cyber trail of motive and that social media and disses from rival cliques were the main causes. Early in 2020, Cavazos was taken into custody after a fellow gang member snitched on him, providing information about the shootings, the locations where he had disposed of weapons, and mobile phone data that showed him near the murder scenes. His initial charge of capital murder carried the possibility of the death penalty. However, he entered a guilty plea in September 2024 to avoid a trial and potential death sentence following years of pretrial proceedings, COVID-19 delays, and evidence challenges. Due to the premeditated nature of the acts and Cavazos' lack of remorse, the judge in Harris County Court sentenced Guero to life in prison without the possibility of parole on September 20, 2024. Vadia and Rico, 2 co-defendants, received similarly lengthy terms. Despite his legal troubles, he has put out 3 EPs, Free 10, Major Thoughts, and Karma, but his violent lifestyle and gang affiliation have severely damaged his music career. The case is still pending and extremely complicated, with serious repercussions for the future of Guero10k and a sobering reminder that crash-outs are not forgiven by the streets.